We can talk now? I already did your. Oh, hey! Hey, guys! Paddle and Fin! Welcome to the Paddle and Fin Podcast Network. I'm John Rapp, and I'm here with my West Virginia contingent. We found ourselves in Orlando, Florida, here at ICast 2023. And you may not know me, but I know you know him. I got my boy Jodi Queen, the GOAT of kayak fishing, and his better half, Vikki, here. We're here to talk about several things that's dear to our hearts, and he's very dear to mine. But I love this guy. I love this guy, and I love this lady. We've been together fishing on the banks, watching him play guitar, drinking refreshments, and catching big fish for almost 10 years now. And I have absolutely loved watching Jodi climb the ladder to being the GOAT. Win everywhere he goes. Not just in West Virginia, but everywhere he goes. And really proud of your accomplishments, man.
I appreciate it.
I mean, it's amazing to know where we were at in 14 to where you are now, featured on one of the biggest bass fishing university programs. Tell us about that, Jodi. What happened there?
Well, Bass University reached out to me a couple months ago. They're starting a new segment to their program. That entails all kayak fishing.
Outstanding.
Not just the big boats, because kayak fishing is a little bit different than the big boats. So they reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to be a part of it. And I, sure. Casey Reed is another one that we got in there. I'm trying to get Jeff Little in on it. So all these guys that have been doing this kayak stuff for a long time,
right,
we're trying to get them in there. And it's just informative. How to fish from a kayak, the safety things that you got to be aware of, and the differences between the kayak and the boat world. And
right.
It's really interesting. So you guys need to get out there and subscribe to the
support
Bass U. Yep. It'll be good.
Yeah, awesome. So Bass U, Jodi Queen, tips, tricks, techniques, you're only going to make you a better fisherman.
Yep.
One of the things that we know about him in West Virginia, he's never afraid to share information. And now, not only are you're going to benefit from his expertise, knowledge, and experience. Now, I want to talk about his experience and his expertise. Some things you might not know about Jodi, and if you don't, shame on you, because Jodi is just not one of the greatest fishermen that you may have ever meet, or greatest people you may have ever meet, but he's one of the greatest artists you may ever meet. And he has, along with his beautiful counterpart, grown and taken an abandoned school in West Virginia and made it a 4 or 5 or 6 story museum. Got one of the best coffee bars you'll ever find in it. Great little bar. It's an art studio. It's an art display museum. Tell us something about it. I'm not doing it any justice. So I will let the experts tell us about what they have.
Take it, baby.
Yes, Vikki, you are the expert.
We are part of Gary Bowling's House of Art, and we are in the old Ramsey School in Bluefield, West Virginia. And we have been an organization for about 15 years, but we've been in 5 different buildings. The Ramsey is our 5th building, and about 5 years ago, a gentleman that we know, Tony Sabo, came and talked to us and said, how would you like to have the Ramsey School? And we looked at him and said, look, we can't afford the Ramsey School. And he said, but what if I gave it to you? So Tony and his family donated the Ramsey School to the House of Art. And since then, it's like, careful what you wish for, guys.
Yeah.
Because the building was about probably 3/4 unrenovated at that point. And we have just been on a mission to bring spaces up to code and make usable space for us, for artists, for people who are coming in.
And you can see that, guys, if you go look at the House of Art Facebook pages or Jodi Queen Fishing. He shares some stuff there. You can see the work that they've done when he's not fishing in the fall and wintertime. They're working hard to renovate. Jodi took a whole room that he showed the transition from being a storage area to now a art area. It's really, really great work that you did there. You redid the floors.
Yes.
The walls.
Yeah, we're not really trying to put the building back into its original form. We're just trying to put our spin on the building,
Right.
So the whole building is actually an art place. It's an art piece. And,
True.
you know, uh, we just need to, we're at a point now where we can't do plumbing and electrical and get everything up to code, sprinkler systems. And so we're at a point now where we started this GoFundMe in conjunction with Z-Man Bates, and they're helping us out, and big kudos to them. But we're trying to raise money to get the building up to code where we can offer more things to our artists. We need studios. We have a full auditorium that needs to be brought up to code. Things like that are going to make us a huge part of the community, but it also makes us a destination for people all over the Appalachian chain.
That's we touched on that earlier. I mean, guys go to Gatlinburg and they go down to Ripley's to look at stuff. And I've been there. I went there last fall, and Beth and I went down and to one of their openings in May when they were doing a grand opening, and Vikki was doing tours and stuff. And honestly, I felt like I threw my money away when I went down there. I mean, your displays and your artwork was so much more vivid.
It's interesting. You know, we do a lot of repurposing. So we're dumpster divers, and we never throw away anything. And one man's trash is another man's treasure.
Hey, and one of the stories that you were telling me when we were is the coffin. Yeah. I mean, so tell them that what you did with that coffin you got from.
So, Queen Hazel is what we call it now. Gary and I were in a mortuary, and they were throwing away a lot of stuff. And over in the corner there was a box. And Gary said, "Well, can we have that?" And he said, "You know what that is, right?" And Gary said, "Yeah, it's a shipping coffin." And we got it back to the gallery, and we opened the lid up, and there was a tag in it. It was a toe tag, and it just said Hazel 1957 or 1947. So she was shipped from somewhere in Oklahoma back to Bluefield to be buried in that box. So we didn't want to desecrate it, so we made it into
an Egyptian sarcophagus.
Yeah, an Egyptian sarcophagus.
Wow. It's beautiful.
So it was a nod to Hazel rather than
And this part of that Egyptian theme that you were talking about earlier, that you have in that one little section, that little room, it's really beautiful. I mean, it's amazing how you took something like that, repurposed it, and made it into a theme for your room.
Yeah, we got Clyde the camel in there. He's made out of an old bug sprayer and just paper mache and stuff like that. So
and I want to tell you guys something. You know, if you missed it yesterday at 10 a.m. at the Z-Man opening, these guys got me a little bit ago. I went over to talk to him, saw him over at the Z-Man, and he's like, "Hey, come over and check out my chatterbait." And he was working on it back in May. He was showing me everything that he was doing, talking about how it was going to be brought down for ICast. So I got to go over and look, and I said, "Well, let's get a picture." Well, they didn't get a picture; they got a video. Would love to. I'll share it with you later. But apparently, this as part of his gimmick that he's been doing all ICast is
it shakes.
It shakes like a chatterbait.
It vibrates.
So tell them what you did, how you built that.
So I took an 80-pound concrete shaker and put it in the box that holds the chatterbait up, and I have a remote. And when people sit on the tractor seat that represents the blade of the chatterbait, I hit that button, and of course the rest is reaction.
Yeah,
it's a reaction bite.
It's a reaction. It's definitely a reaction. I think my mouth did open. Anyway, hey guys, make sure you take a few minutes and go check out Jodi's socials. Tell them about all your socials they can look at.
Yeah, you can find me on Jodi Queen Fishing on all the channels, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. If you want to check out Gary Bowling's House of Art, you go to
GBHA at the Ramsey School on Facebook.
And guys, we are a 501c3, which means all donations for this project are tax deductible. Excuse me. I got a frog in my throat. You want to tell them? She knows this stuff more than I do, so I'm going to make her tell.
Is it a Z-Man frog?
Yeah, it's a Z-Man frog.
Z-Man frog.
Yeah.
Tell them about the 501c.
Gary Bowlings is a house of art, is a 501c3 arts organization that provides resources to Appalachian artists. And if you're not familiar with Southern West Virginia suffers from um, longstanding economic um, what's the word I'm looking for? Depression. And there aren't a lot of options for artists in our area, and Gary Bowlings is that option. We have studios, we have art classes, we do exhibits, and it's not just for artists. The community can come in for arts experiences. And in economically depressed areas, there isn't a lot of opportunity maybe to even travel.
Right.
But guys, let me tell you what, the House of Art is the best thing north of Disney. So
Amen.
So absolutely come see us. And the GoFundMe page is under Gary Bowlings House of Art. But if you're looking for us on Facebook, it's GBHA at the Ramsey School. And we look forward to seeing you there. If you're traveling through Southern West Virginia, absolutely come see us. We're worth the trip.
It is definitely worth the trip. Jodi Queen Fishing at Facebook.
Yep. Jodi Queen Instagram.
What's your Instagram again?
Jodi Queen Fishing at Instagram.
Okay.
Same for the YouTube.
Twitters, YouTubes. Okay.
Yep.
Any words of wisdom before we leave?
I appreciate you bringing us on. John, we've been friends for a long time,
yes,
man.
Sir.
I love you, dude.
I love you,
and
bro.
It's just, when I started this thing, you were there. You're a part of where I'm at today. This business has changed my life. I've always loved to fish. If you own a kayak, use it. Get out there. Always wear your PFD. Be safe out on the water, and just go have fun fishing. If you're here at ICast, go by the booth at the Z-Man booth and check out the White Lightning Chatterbait, which represents our area here in Appalachia. It's made out of an old mash barrel, a tractor seat, Pontiac hubcaps, and it's all old and it's all fun.
Yes.
And just come and be a part of it, and I'll see you guys on the water.
And with that, the Paddle and Fin Media Group is going to sign out for the moment. This is John Rapp. Y'all have a great day.
Bye, guys.